like I say, the tax money does more than enough. There's more than enough money made from taxes and everything else to easily pay for dental and medical procedures to the whole of American population, if not in fact possibly the whole world population. It actually doesn't cost that much to do medical or create pills or do other things, and actually is rather cheap. And the taxes that are accumulated around the world for taxes and also in America are more than enough to pay for all of that stuff. So basically America had free dental and free medical, and basically a bunch of kids were going around. Basically, they would charge, they would get tax money, basically paid, and say, we treated 250 people, yes, and then what they do actually at the desk is pretty much charge the people that walk through the door and charge the American taxpayers. So they're making double for doing something that they're already paid to do. So, but nobody knows this and nobody realizes this. And basically, America always had free medical and free dental and free teeth whitening and free everything, which is done more commonly in Europe. So, where they actually know that they have free medical. So anyway, and only Africa and some other countries don't actually have a medical system, and eventually they do get one. So anyway, so basically they just hit up a whole bunch of young kids for basically their daddy's money or their work money, which basically they already have free dental, free medical, and free this and free that. Only nobody knew it. So, and American people actually voted for free medical because it's not that much actually to do free medical and free pills and free this and free that. But it is harder to steal money, which is what a bunch of kids were doing basically, is just stealing money from the American public. And basically training secretaries to hit up people for as much money as they could, and basically calling it a sliding fee scale, where they determine how much you should pay into basically what is the Republicans and Democrats or the hackers of the world that are basically doing this and pretty much living this lavish lifestyle, which basically are stealing from the public. And why nobody really should be paying taxes, and basically it's a waste of time because you're just funding basically people to either go rape or kill or basically buy a yacht while you get nothing. So, and then they try and say that they have the right to repossess your house and try and do like eminent domain or some bullshit like that, and just basically pretty much have people going and basically harassing you until you give up your house. So anyway, because I think I own all the houses in America or something like that. So, and it's basically just kicking out one group and putting in another group that is more associated with Republicans or Democrats. So basically, where pretty much your purchase price of your house pretty much covers almost everything except for maybe taxes, which is a sliding fee scale more than anything else. So if you don't have that much extra money, well then, whatever. And that's why it's up to the IRS to claim just this and that and basically make you pay your taxes based on your wage income. So anyway, there's lots of like turning around of the facts and denying people coverage as well as their house. So anyway, lots of people, as if drug dealing and drug use and the massive amounts of money that they make from selling drugs, and probably most likely we're paying for druggies to get their drugs, which aren't all that expensive either. Like I say, many things, lots of cocaine and lots of drugs basically are very cheap. Everything is cheap, but what's not so cheap is to get people to work, and basically for a bunch of kids who know something about computers to basically lie to the public and lie to everyone. And eventually, those young people get old or whatever else like that and basically run around pretty much. Hey, whatever. Anyway, I don't care. I mean, I owned America, so it's my country. So lots of people would try and want to have me killed, or at least keep me poor, or at least keep me from being unknown, because all this stuff is true. And basically, if you hit up your congressman or your American government, you too might be able to collect what is basically the America's tax money. That's basically going to pay for people to basically do drugs, drive fast cars, and live in houses. So anyway, and get free dental and free medical, which has already been offered and being collected by the taxes. And basically, it's the companies that actually pay the taxes. So anyway, not necessarily even the people. So anyway, that's where all the tax money is going, and it's part of sales tax and all that other stuff. And there's plenty of money going around to pay for most of America's medical. And most of America's police departments and all that stuff, which is basically like, you get a job, okay, go sit in a building. Anyway, there's lots of stuff that's just messed up and screwed up in the world. And basically the people would find out about this, and eventually the people would try and get money out of themselves or something like that. Anyway, there's lots of stuff, and America even pays for seed money and all that, but most people don't have access to that. Anyway, I don't really care, and I'm just like, give me a gun, I'm sick of this shit. Where it's just a bunch of people being really stupid and basically, the rest of the galaxy going, what the fuck is going on down there on Earth with all these people? So, which are basically just a bunch of kids being very spoiled brats and basically going around bombing other countries and doing all kinds of horrible things, irradiating other countries, and pretty much eventually the other countries get pissed off, I guess, and start going after these young kids because they're sick of it. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, since 1940, America had free dental, free medical, and even retirement-based benefits for its people. Anyway, but nobody knew that, or at least a lot of people didn't know that unless you were involved in the government, unless you were Richard Nixon, John McCain, or one of those congressmen, which means to have sex with, or a Republican or Democrat. So, basically, known sex addicts or whatever, just ran around having sex a lot in the past and taking money from people. So anyway, and it's basically just what they call the fleecing of America or whatever. It's basically just a bunch of people stealing money from the American people and getting checks printed at the Treasury based on how much money they stole from people and denied how many people they denied coverage to. Anyway, whatever. I'm Lucifer Star and basically owned America and knew what was going on more than most people. So anyway, yes. Well, too bad for that. Anyway, whatever. So, and basically a bunch of senators and a bunch of kids just run around basically making a mess of the planet. And this mess goes to space and becomes a bigger mess. So